Why you misremember your own life, the mandate of memory fabrication. You can vividly remember standing on a specific beach as a child, feeling the icy ocean water on your bare toes and hearing your mother call your name. Except, your parents never took you to that beach, and you were hundreds of miles away in a dusty city that entire summer. How can a memory feel so undeniably real, right down to the cold, wet sand and the exact tone of a voice, when it never happened at all? Your mind feels like a private vault, an ironclad safe storing an unalterable video recording of every milestone you have ever lived through. You trust that vault when you recount your past to friends, when you hold on to old grievances, or when you describe who you are. Yet decades of breakthrough psychological research tell us a disturbing truth about human consciousness. Your memory is not a pristine video file saved on a hard drive.
It is a Wikipedia page where anyone, including your own unconscious mind, can log in and edit the text every single time you read it. When you pull up a scene from 5 years ago, you are not opening a settled record. You are actively building a new script, painting the background colors, and filling in the gaps with fresh information. How did science uncover the shocking fragility of our personal histories? In 1995, legendary cognitive psychologist Elizabeth Loftus and her colleague Jacqueline Pickrell set out to test if they could plant a completely fake childhood memory from thin air. They recruited participants and provided them with booklets containing short stories about their early childhoods, supplied by their real family members. Hidden among those true childhood events was one carefully crafted lie, a detailed story about getting lost in a shopping mall around age 5. The fake narrative claimed the child was crying near a store, was eventually comforted by a kind elderly person, and was finally reunited with their frantic family. At first, many participants hesitated, stating that they did not quite remember the scary mall event. But Loftus and Pickrell instructed them to simply sit quietly, visualize the scenario, and write down anything they could manage to recall over a few days. By the end of the study, 25% of the participants fully believed the fictional traumatic event had actually happened to them. They did not just agree with the researcher's suggestion, they added intricate, rich details out of nowhere, describing the exact clothing of the elderly savior and the pattern of the mall carpet. If a simple suggestion in a laboratory can convince a quarter of healthy adults that they were abandoned in a mall, how far can this fabrication go? 20 years later, in 2015, forensic psychologist Dr.
Julia Shaw pushed this boundary to its absolute limit in a groundbreaking trial. Shaw and researchers Stephen Porter brought young adults into a lab and attempted to convince them that they had committed a serious crime in their early teenage years. Using subtle social pressure, repeated interview sessions, and guided imagery techniques, the researchers introduced false stories about assault or theft involving police intervention. Within just 3 guided sessions, a staggering majority of participants constructed rich, vivid memories of committing a felony that never took place. They recounted emotional shame, detailed interactions with police officers, and the precise sensation of cold metal handcuffs around their wrists. While later reanalyses suggested the strict rate of complete false memory creation was closer to 20 to 30%, the psychological implication remains staggering.
Under the right conditions, normal people can be led to sincerely remember being a violent criminal. How does the brain allow such massive fabrications to take root alongside our actual lived experiences? The answer lies in the microscopic machinery of how your neurons store and recover information. When an event happens, your brain processes sensory input through the amygdala for emotion and the hippocampus for structural binding. To make that experience last, your brain uses a process called consolidation, locking neural pathways into a stable, long-term circuit. For decades, neuroscientists believed that once a memory was consolidated, it stayed fixed in place, like a printed photograph. Then researchers discovered a radical neurobiological process called memory reconsolidation. Every single time you retrieve a long-term memory, the underlying neural trace becomes biochemically labile, which means malleable and temporarily unfixed.
While that neural file is unlocked and open on your mental desktop, it absorbs whatever new information, emotional state, or subtle hints are present right now. Then, your brain undergoes protein synthesis to write that updated, altered file back into long-term storage. You are not remembering the original event. You are remembering the last time you remembered it. Imagine a legal witness sitting on a witness stand, swearing under oath to tell the absolute truth. In 1980, an innocent man named Steve Titus was wrongfully accused of a terrible sexual assault based on a victim's initial tentative description. When the victim was first shown a photograph of Titus by investigators, she explicitly stated that he looked similar, but she was not certain. Over weeks of questioning, repeated photo viewings, and courtroom preparation, her brain unwittingly filled in the blanks.
By the time she pointed at Titus in court, she declared with absolute, unshakable confidence that he was definitely the attacker. She was not lying, and she was not acting in bad faith. Her brain had literally overwritten her original, uncertain memory trace with a new, crystal-clear image provided by the system around her. According to data from the Innocence Project, mistaken eyewitness identifications played a role in over 60 to 70% of DNA exoneration cases in the United States. Tragically, high confidence in a memory does not equal high historical accuracy. In fact, human beings often express their absolute highest levels of confidence for memories that are demonstrably false. Consider flashbulb memories, those hyper-vivid mental snapshots of major historical shocks, like public disasters or national tragedies.
When researchers track people's recollections of major events over years, they find that the accuracy of these flashbulb memories decays at the exact same rate as everyday mundane memories. Yet, because the emotional charge remains high, people maintain 100% subjective certainty that their flawed recall is flawless. Why would evolution design a memory system that is so disturbingly prone to distortion in fiction? Why didn't natural selection build us with a perfect, indelible digital recorder inside our skulls? Because a rigid, unchangeable memory system would actually be a terrible evolutionary handicap for a survival-focused creature. Evolution did not design your brain to be an accurate historian. It designed your brain to keep you alive tomorrow. A flexible memory system allows you to take fragments of past experiences and dynamically recombine them to simulate future scenarios. When you imagine potential dangers, plan a strategy, or predict how a social encounter will unfold, you use the exact same hippocampal networks used for recall. By keeping memories malleable through reconsolidation, your brain can update old lessons with new information, ensuring you don't repeat mistakes in a changing world. Memory imperfection is not a software bug. It is the fundamental feature that gives us cognitive adaptability. What does this mean for how you navigate your modern personal life today? Look around at how we document our existence on social media platforms and digital photo feeds. Every time you scroll past an edited photo, apply a vibrant filter, or read a curated caption about an old trip, you are feeding fresh cues into your open memory files. Your brain silently integrates those polished digital artifacts into your actual neural record of the event. Over time, you begin to misremember your own past as happier, sleeker, or more dramatic than the messy reality you actually lived through. The same process happens during heated arguments with partners, family members, or old friends. Two people can walk away from the exact same conversation with completely contradictory, highly detailed memories of what was said. Both individuals can be entirely sincere, and both can be holding on to memories that have been edited by their subsequent emotions. Realizing that your personal history is a living, breathing narrative can feel deeply disorienting at first. It challenges our core sense of identity, because who are we if our cherished childhood milestones are partially fabricated? Yet, accepting the fragile nature of human recall offers a profound form of liberation and humility. It urges us to hold our grievances a little lighter, knowing our grudges might be built on edited scripts. It reminds us to treat others with grace when their recollections don't align perfectly with ours. Your past is not a static stone monument locked forever in the dark. It is a dynamic canvas, continuously painted by who you were, who you are today, and who you are trying to become. You may still vividly remember standing on that cold beach as a child, feeling the icy water on your toes. And even if that beach only exists inside the creative architecture of your mind, the feeling it gives you right now is completely real.